All right, so this is the court's issue. I'm not inclined to give him probation. I'm not going to give him probation. I'm going to sentence him. Court will sentence you to...
This dude really thought he was getting off with probation. Walked in smirking like it was just another day in court. But when the judge hit him with a prison sentence, you could practically hear the sound of his ego shattering. He violated a protection order, snuck into somebody's house, and grabbed a sleeping toddler, and still expected leniency. Yeah. Okay. Stick around though after this one because the next hearing after this one takes the chaos to a whole new level. But let me know if you guys think Judge Boyd is actually soft because this court hearing might just shock you. But anyways, let's go ahead and dive in and watch.
Are you Mr. Soto? And cause number 2020 CR 2998. You enter a plea of no contest to burglary of a habitation with intent to commit assault. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison and the state is opposing your application. And cause number 2020 CR 3661, you entered a plea of no contest to the offense of assault, bodily injury of a security officer. According to your plea bargaining agreement, the state is requesting that punishments be assessed at 8 years in the prison. They're opposing your applications. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state? Defense?
I have, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No objection.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any witnesses, state?
None from the state.
Defense?
No, Your Honor, aside from the letters that are provided to me.
All right, and for the record, the court has reviewed the letters that have been presented. The court will hear arguments, state.
Your Honor, based on the defendant's criminal history, he did pick up these felony cases as well as multiple misdemeanors that are also pending involving the same family. The defendant's conduct is escalating and continues to terrorize the family, including the complainants on this case, as well as her brother, her children, and her mother. And the burglary for habitation, a burglary to a habitation case, defendants alleged to have entered the house through a open window or through an unlocked window and grabbed the child from where he was sleeping at 3 o'clock in the morning. He's shown a disregard for the safety and welfare of the complainant as well as the children in the household. And it's the state's fear that if the defendant were granted probation, he would continue to contact the family and continue to violate any no contact orders that would be entered. I would believe that the only way to ensure the safety and the welfare of the complainants are to sentence the defendant to the prison.
Defense?
Judge, I reviewed the PSI and also talked to Mr. Soto this morning regarding the impact statement that's provided in the PSI, and I've asked him, since this incident, had he had any contact with the complainants? And since the incident, he stayed away from them. He does have 2 children with the young lady. He hasn't seen the children because of this incident, but he has not gone around them or their household. So I think he's shown that he can stay away from them. I don't think he needs prison to stay away from them. Since he's been on bond, since these cases have been pending, he stayed away from that family. Also, Judge, if you look at his prior history, he does not have any convictions for misdemeanors or felonies. He's 25, he is working. He has support. He has family members here in court with him this morning. He has the letters that were provided to him. I think when we pled on the case, Judge, the court asked him if he was experiencing any substance abuse issues at the time of the offense. He was truthful with the court. He said, yes, Judge, I was under the influence. I also asked him this morning if the court did testing, how would he come up? And he explained to me he would come up negative. He has not been using any type of substances since he's been on bond, since these cases have been pending. He is working. He's working as a painter. He's not on child support for the children, but he is willing to place himself on child support so he can start contributing to their well-being. Also, Judge, the TAP evaluation, I noticed that it is recommending inpatient treatment. If the court did grant his application for deferred, we would ask the court to first see how he does in intensive outpatient treatment, because he's shown that he can stay drug-free. But I do think he would need some assistance with that. Even though he's been doing it since he's been on bond, we would ask the court if the court did grant his application for deferred to place him in intensive outpatient treatment prior to placing him in inpatient treatment. He accepted responsibility for both offenses. He pled to these cases. And now we're here before the court asking the court to grant his applications for deferment.
All right, so this is the court's issue.
The moment a judge says, "Here's the issue," you can already tell things aren't going well. This defendant violated a protective order, unlawfully entered someone's home, and took a sleeping toddler, yet still expected the court to consider probation instead of prison. The prosecution argued for an 8-year sentence, while the defense pushed for deferred adjudication, despite the seriousness of the charges. Given the nature of the alleged conduct, it was a difficult argument to make. In cases involving repeated violations and the safety of a child, judges often pay close attention to patterns of behavior and the potential risk to others. Accountability and public safety are typically major factors during sentencing. What do you think? Should someone accused of conduct like this receive a prison sentence, or should deferred adjudication still be considered in circumstances like these?
And not really an issue, but these are things that I think of. All right, so he has a felony offense, and I'm assuming this is being taken in consideration. The violation of an order, protective order. That's from December 31st, 2019. The burglary that he pled to is from December 27th, 2019. So let me go in order. So he has a continuous violence case that's December 14th, 2018. I'm not saying it's true because nobody pled to that, but that's what he's charged with. Then after that, you would think something would click. Hey, I just got arrested, because I know he would have gotten arrested on that and made bond, and he would have gotten an attorney. So you would have thought that something would have clicked with that. But what ends up happening is on December 27, 2019, he picks up this burglary. Then you would have thought something clicked with that. But then what ends up happening? He picks up the violation of the court order or bond order or protective order on December 31st, 2019. And you would have thought that it would have been like, hey, I need to be on my P's and Q's because I picked up all these felonies. I understand relationships, and sometimes people don't love each other anymore and they have children and they got to make it work for the children, or they got to stay respectful to each other because they got to raise children together. And as everybody know, even though people say, we only need to be with each other for 18 years, but people know sometimes you need to be with certain children till they're like 25 or 30. I understand that. But then what ends up happening? He ends up picking up another case that he pled to, which is the assault case, on September 17th, 2022. So he has some issues. And I don't think that probation at this time is appropriate for him. Is he on GPS?
He is, Judge, and since he's been on GPS, he has not violated the GPS.
Oh, because he's on GPS because of this. And I'm not the judge who gave him probation for continuing to pick up cases. Some other judge did that. And the only thing I came back to do was probably add the GPS so that everybody would know where he was. So I'm not inclined to give him probation. I'm not going to give him probation. I'm going to sentence him, and I will retain jurisdiction. So in cause number 2020 CR 2998, court will find you guilty. Court will sentence you to 5 years prison. Give you credit for any time served. All right, we can go off the record. I'll retain jurisdiction.
Both cases, Judge?
Yes. Sometimes, it is about rehab. Well, it's always about rehabilitation, but it's also about protecting the community, and it's also about punishment. Sometimes people think the justice system isn't about punishment, but really, all these cases, there's an air of punishment involved, but hopefully rehabilitation. I know you probably think this is the end of the world. I came in here, I'm going to prison, but you're young. You still have a chance to get your life together. Please don't go to prison and get a bunch of tattoos because you're clean shaven now. Please let it stay that way, okay? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
You know what? The devil created me, and I know that.
I don't believe that for a second.
Trespassing my creation, my creator's creation.
Let's talk about this 5-year sentence because honestly, it could have been way worse. When you've got a track record and you violate a protection order and burglarize a home, deferred adjudication shouldn't even be an option here. His lawyer asking for it feels more like a formality than a strategy in this one. And the way he just sat there smug with his arms crossed, thinking he could manipulate the court, it's just wild to me. I mean, Judge Boyd didn't even flinch in this one. She really did drop that sentence like a hammer, and suddenly all the fake confidence from this dude drained from his face. It really is moments like this where a judge's rep gets tested. And today she showed she's not afraid to go tough when needed. Let me know in the comments. Does this change your opinion on Judge Boyd, or was this long overdue? But yeah, let's dive into this next hearing where this guy drops an F-bomb to Judge Fleer.
Nice outfit, Judge.
Mr. Powell?
This is Stefan Ford.
Are you sure? He looks different.
He does.
You shaved the beard.
Yes, sir.
You look so much younger. Really. Hi, Mr. Powell. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Unfortunately, in these circumstances, we had you go to the facility at the Ed Emmett.
The jail diversion.
Right, but
I've been there before and I completed it. I've been
So-
there back in, I want to say, 2022, and from the court number 4, and I stayed there 14 days, and they sent me to a church program, and I didn't like it. I don't believe in God. I know who created me. I don't have to believe in God because I know who created me, and I don't want to disrespect you by telling you that.
well, let's hold on, because I don't know what happened on the new cases. So give me a second. Let me have them read out what happened on the new cases so we can see how to go forward, because I don't even know where the new cases happened.
On December 25th, officers were dispatched to a trespasser call at Trinity Lutheran Church in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, officers observed the defendant sitting on the steps of the church, screaming obscenities and causing a disturbance. Complaining witness, a security guard employed by the church, advised officers that the defendant came to the church asking for food, and the complaining witness informed the defendant they were not giving out food that day and directed him to 2 nearby locations instead. Defendant became belligerent. Complainant stated the defendant threatened him, stating, "I see you don't have a gun, so if we fight, I'm going to kill you." As the defendant was threatening complaining witness, defendant was moving towards him in a fighting stance, causing complainant to feel fear of imminent danger. Complainant stated he told defendant 3 times to leave the location, but defendant refused.
What would you like to do, Shreya?
Well, Judge, my understanding from speaking with Mr. Powell right now is that he's okay keeping the bail as is. And so he's waiting a bail hearing. Is that right, Mr. Powell? I just want to make sure.
No, that's wrong.
Do you want to go back to the Ed Emmett place?
Yes, sir.
You want to try to see?
medication. So I get my medication.
You-
Because,
What it doesn't matter. I just want to know if you want to do that.
yes, sir.
We can try to make it work.
Yes, sir.
Is that
Okay.
something we can do?
So a couple things. To do that, we would have to go through Brad Morse for the mental health, see if Brad even wants to offer that. Then I'd have to get a PR bond with the condition that he gets released there again.
Sure.
And so,
Do you know how long that program is, Shreya?
so Judge, it actually could be 10 minutes or it could be 2 weeks. It just depends on the nature of how long they decide to keep him there. It looks like this time they kept him from the 18th until Christmas. I believe he was released on the Christmas Eve. And then this case occurred Christmas morning at about like 7 or 8 a.m.
Okay. So let's see if we can try to make it work. I need a little bit of time.
You know what? The devil created me, and I know that.
I don't believe that for a second.
Trespassing my creation, my creator's creation. So fuck you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Bell.
Try to see if we can make it work.
Yes.
Okay. Reach out to Brad. And if that, I think we may need something even more intensive, longer lasting. So
Yes,
reach
I
out to
agree.
Brad, see if there's something more intensive and longer lasting. And then I guess today's Monday, you want to set it for maybe Thursday?
This whole video was like watching karma pull double shifts. First you got Judge Boyd, who usually gives labeled as soft, flipping the narrative and laying down a brutal 8-year sentence. I mean, the guy walked in smirking like it was just a quick slap on the wrist, like he'd be home in time for lunch, but instead he literally got cooked. And honestly, it was deserved, too. When you break a protection order, sneak into somebody's home, and snatch your kid in the middle of the night, you don't get to ask for a second chance. And then when we pivot to Judge Fleer, in that case, I honestly don't even know what to say. When someone starts blaming the devil for their actions, it's not just court. It's a cry for therapy and maybe a full reboot. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments what you thought about both judges here. Did Judge Boyd go too hard, or was Judge Fletcher too calm? Let me know what you guys thought. And make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, guys. I post daily. Thank you so much for watching and take